It is actually going to be my very first video for 2022. Excuse my crackly throat. I've had a bit of a sore throat for a while now. Now I'm just gonna touch on a few things before I get into my vlog. So I did not end up doing Vlogmas for the rest of December. I got a few videos up and then things changed. So I had planned on doing Vlogmas for the whole of December, and then things at work changed pretty drastically. We had to let some staff go because they were just useless and unreliable, which meant we were working on skeleton staff for the whole of Christmas. So that meant I was working way more hours than I would normally, and I just physically did not have the time to finish Vlogmas. So I was pretty sad about that, but it is what it is. And then also COVID has gotten pretty serious here in Australia now that our idiot Prime Minister has, opened a lot of things up. COVID is spreading like wildfire here. Specifically, New South Wales is the worst state. It's always the worst state. I'm not sure how many numbers they have today, but yesterday they had over 35,000 cases. Victoria, which is, I believe, the second worst state, they had close to 9,000 cases. Queensland, where I am, we have, I think, about 6,000 cases, or somewhere in that ballpark. That was yesterday. I don't know about today. But COVID is spreading, and it's spreading fast and rapid. But our Prime Minister is a giant moron, and he basically believes that we just need to suck it up and deal with our own health. There's like no help or anything like that. He's just an idiot. Excuse my language, but he is. Believe me calling him an idiot is actually being polite. I have way worse things to say about him. But so my partner, where he works, there are 4 COVID cases. Where I work, there are 2 COVID cases in my work. My regional's got COVID. Just most of the staff in almost all of our stores are out being tested for COVID. So all of our stores are working on bare minimum staff because most of us are out having to be tested for COVID or already have COVID. I am okay at the moment. The other thing that's really hard is actually getting tested. So we have basically no rapid antigen tests here in Queensland. They're impossible to get your hands on because, again, our Prime Minister screwed us over. So our local government have had to step in and try and help us with that, but everyone is doing the same thing, so it's going to be a while until we get rapid antigen tests so that we can test ourselves. Testing clinics are really not inconvenient locations, but also there are so many people getting tested that the testing clinics are actually turning people away because they can't physically get to them all, and some of the testing clinics aren't even open. So you could be waiting for 9 hours and not get seen. So it's really, really hard at the moment. We're all quite concerned. But yeah, so that's kind of what's going on, and has been going on since about a week. COVID issues a week before Christmas, all the other issues most of December. But yeah, so that's kind of how my December went. I had an amazing Christmas. I didn't get time off over Christmas. I had Christmas Day off, but I worked basically every other day. But I had an amazing Christmas Day. It was really, really great. I enjoyed the whole day. It was such a wonderful day. It was just Nate and I together. which is perfect. We are so happy just to have us for Christmas Day. But I really enjoyed myself. I just wished I had more time off over Christmas, except for just Christmas Day. But that's okay. That's okay. It's now the 6th of January. So Nate's actually at work. He'll be home on his tea break in a minute. It's his half day as well today, so he finishes this morning at 11. So he'll be home just after 11. Excuse me, yawning. But I wanted to talk to you about a few things. So I have already finished a book for January, you guys. I finished it on, I think it was the 3rd of January. And it is the book called Alone by Megan E. Freeman. I'll put a picture up on the screen somewhere here because I don't physically have the book. I listened to it through Scribed, so it was an audiobook. And basically what the book is about is a 13-year-old girl decides to lie to both of her parents, because her parents are divorced, and tell each other that she's staying at the other's house. And then instead of staying at her parents' house, she goes and stays at her grandparents' house. Now, I don't think her grandparents are alive in this scenario, or if they are, they don't live close by, because the house that they're staying at is a holiday home. It's still in the same neighborhood that she lives in Colorado, but nobody is there when she goes to stay there. And she has this plan that her and her friends are going to have this sleepover for the night at the grandparents' holiday home without anybody knowing, except for her plan goes south and her friends end up not being able to come, but she decides to stay there anyway. And then basically when she wakes up the next morning, the whole town have just disappeared because they have been evacuated. And they were told that she's got like bunches of missed calls and messages on her phone. And the messages and the calls and everything are saying that basically the government has swooped in and evacuated them out of this town in Colorado and all across America because there is an imminent threat. And she gets stranded there, and basically it's like a kind of like an apocalypse type of situation going on, where this 13-year-old girl has to survive for, I believe it's 3 years by herself in her neighborhood. So she's got to fend for herself through really harsh winters and a tornado, fire, lightning striking and like burning down on like half the town. And she does this all with a beautiful Rottweiler called George. George was the next door neighbor's Rottweiler, and she decided to bring him in and rescue him. So that's kind of the situation. Now, I don't want to say too much else about the storyline because if I do, it gives it away. I actually really did enjoy the book. The one thing though I will say that I did not enjoy is that this book is written in verse. And I knew that going in. I knew it was written in verse, but I still wanted to read it because I love these like doomsday style, like apocalypse, dystopian books. I love them. I love them. I love those types of TV shows as well and movies. I love them. So I knew that it was written in verse going in, and it didn't bother me. But I will say that I hate verse. I do. I hate it. And I just feel like this book would have been so much better if it wasn't in verse. Now, I know a lot of people will probably disagree with me, and that's totally fine. If you like verse, that is absolutely fine, but I hate it. I really hate verse, and I feel like the book lost something being written in verse because it was much more simplified, which is why I only gave the book 4 out of 5 stars. If the book had been just written normally and not in verse, it would have been a hands down 5 out of 5 stars for me. but it was not, unfortunately. I still gave it 4 stars though, so that's pretty high. It was just the fact that it was written in verse that I just didn't care for. So that was the first book of the year that I have read. And then I started also reading on my Kindle. This one I had to purchase myself. I think it was like $7 or $8 on Kindle. Is 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is what it looks like. And this one's actually a COVID book. So this is about 2 people, a guy and a girl. I can't remember their names because I'm only like 30 pages in. But they bump into each other, I believe. It was in a supermarket, I think. And they start talking and they have coffee together, blah, blah, blah. They don't know each other, right? Now, I'm only 30 pages in, so like literally nothing has happened. But my understanding of the book is they decide to give dating a go, but COVID hits and they have to go into lockdown. So they decide to lock down together. And then I believe 56 days into the whole situation, there is a dead body. Now, I don't know who the dead body is, what happened, all that sort of jazz, but that's the premise of the story. Like I said, I'm only 30 pages in, so like I literally have read nothing. But I'm excited because, again, I love these types of books, and it's also a COVID book. I know that might sound a little bit morbid, me like excited to read a COVID book during COVID, but you know, that's what I'm reading. So that's all I'm reading at the moment. I haven't started any other books. So there's that. One thing though I will say is on Disney Plus, I'm actually watching a TV show called The Last Man on Earth. It's not a new TV show. It's come out, I want to say 2015, maybe later than that. I can't remember. But essentially it's set in America, and it's about this man who believes he is the last man on Earth because a virus has hit the entire world. And I watched this years ago, right, and loved it. It's a comedy. It is a comedy. But only this year did I start rewatching it again because I found it on Disney and I realized how eerily similar it is to COVID. Which is kind of crazy because this come out like pre-COVID, you guys. But basically this guy believes that he is the last man on Earth because this virus has hit the entire world and essentially it's killed everybody. So this man has been driving around America for 2 years by himself, and then eventually decides that he is going to settle down in Tucson, which is his hometown. And so when he's driving through America, he spray paints on all these billboards, "Alive in Tucson," and then goes to Tucson just in case, on the odd chance that there's someone else alive. But he doesn't think there is because he hasn't seen anybody in like 2 years, right? And then surprise, surprise, what do you know? Other people are alive and find these billboards and then come to Tucson looking for whoever wrote "Alive in Tucson." It's such a funny show though. It is a comedy. It's not like, you know, dreary or anything like that. But I definitely recommend you guys watch it. It's so good. It's only 4 seasons because it did get cancelled, unfortunately, after the 4th season. But it's so funny, and that has been what I've been watching. I've watched all 4 seasons years ago, but I'm rewatching it. I love it. It's great. Highly recommend it. Okay, on to what I've been doing because I actually have been crafting, you guys. So for Christmas, Nate got me something off of my wish list, which was super sweet of him. And he got me this Dimensions cross stitch, and it's this one here. It is actually a Christmas themed one. Look how cute that is, you guys. If the picture doesn't come up clear enough, I'll put another picture on the screen. But this one is called Santa's Truck Stocking, and it's a kit. So it does come with the 14 count ivory aider, the needle, felt to make the back of it. I won't be using felt for the backing because I just don't think felt is sturdy enough. I'm going to pick a really pretty Christmas fabric to make the backing. And it comes with all of the thread as well. So I have started it. I haven't got very far though, but I've started it. Now, here's all the threads. It does come on pre-labeled cardstocks, and this is what I've done so far. It's not much. You can see it's not much. Now, I don't have a hoop or anything like that. I am just holding it the way it is. It makes it a little bit harder, but not like nothing I can't handle. But that's what it looks like so far. So I have started it. So I'm actually so excited because I decided that I wanted to make stockings for each one of us. So for me and Nate so far, because that's all there is in this family. But when we have kids, I'm going to do one each for our kids as well. So I decided on the Santa's truck one. I really like that one. I have this like obsession with candy apple red Chevy pickup trucks. I don't know why. I just really love them. Every time I see one, it immediately makes me think of Christmas. So I'm really glad that Nate got me that for Christmas. Like, oh, it's so sweet. I love it. So that's going to be, it's a big project. So this is going to be something I'm going to be working on throughout the year. So really excited to see that come to light, and see how it works out. And then the next thing I'm working on is actually, I will show you, is this. It is going to be a blanket. It doesn't look like much at the moment. It's just little. But I'm using the Premier Bloom Chunky Self-Striping Floral Print yarn, which is this one here. I have 5 balls of it, and there's more that I'm going to be ordering. And I'm doing it in small panels, and then attaching all the panels together. I am using these knitting needles here, which I also got for Christmas. These are called the Knit Light. They are a size number 6, which is a 4.25mm needle. This is what they look like, and they light up. So that way, if you're knitting like at nighttime or whatever, you've got light to see what you're doing. I actually did ask for these for Christmas, and Nate got them for me because he's the sweetest. So that's what I'm doing, and basically what I've done is I actually just picked a pattern off of the Premier website. It was a free pattern, and it is for actually a bigger blanket, and it does call for circular needles, but I don't have circular needles in that size. So I just use these ones. Now the yarn does also call for an 8mm or a US 11 size needle. I also don't have those either, so like I said, I'm just using these. They're 4.25mm number 6, and it works perfectly fine for what I want. So basically it kind of almost creates like this, excuse me. Sorry about that, sneezing, really bad allergies. So basically, because I'm not actually taking the whole pattern into account, because I'm not doing this on circulars, I've only done like, I think the pattern's like 170 something stitches or something like that, whereas this I only did like 76 stitches or something like that, so way less. But the reason I've done that is because I wanted to create panels and then attach the panels together, because the yarn that I'm using is, like I said, the Bloom Chunky yarn, and I don't have 5 of the same color because I didn't want that. I just wanted 1 of each color, and I'm joining them together, so it's going to look really cool. But if you've never used that yarn before, it does create like, it's hard to tell at the moment because I don't have much done, but it creates like a floral pattern. And with this one has like scalloped edges. So the way I've done it, the panel, is I just wanted to create a pattern repeat. So it's only been repeated twice instead of I think it's like 6 times in the original pattern. So I have adjusted it to fit what I have envisioned in my mind. So it's going to be kind of like a patchworky typed quilt, like blanket basically, but in long panels, and then I'm just going to sew them all together, and it's just going to create this beautiful thick blanket. So yeah, that's it, you guys. That's all I've been working on at the moment. We'll see how far I get along with some other things. I am doing a 2022 planner lineup. I haven't filmed it yet because I just have been so busy with work. I'm only just starting to quiet down again. But I need to film that. I just need to go to Officeworks to get 100 GSM paper though, so I haven't had the chance to do that. So I'm going to do that tonight, and then print off everything that I need, and then film it tomorrow and upload it sometime this week. So I do have a few planners that I'm going to be using this year, so that will be in my lineup video. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that when that one comes out. That'll probably actually come out before this vlog, we'll see. But yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this new year and just seeing how everything goes. At the moment though, with COVID, it actually seems to be probably the worst COVID year so far. Like the past 2 years were not that bad for Australia, but now with the COVID cases drastically spiking every single day, I feel like it's definitely way worse. We have way higher numbers than we have ever had. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. So yeah, so that's it, you guys. That's kind of all I have planned at the moment. My office is a total mess. It needs like a total clean and organization, which I'm gonna start doing this weekend. I've got to take down my Christmas decorations as well. The only decorations that's going to stay up for a little bit longer is going to be my Lego village, because they're all Christmas houses. Because I actually have a plan for those. I'm actually getting another Calyx bookshelf. I just haven't had the chance to do that, so that'll happen in the next, I don't know, several weeks. When I get the new Calyx bookshelf, the Calyx you can't see, but it's just going to go over here because I have empty wall space right there. And the Lego houses, the Christmas houses, are going to go in that Calyx, so that'll be cool. But yeah, and then once my office is fully cleaned up and reorganized, I will give you an office tour, because I've been saying that for a while and I just haven't done it yet, so I'm gonna do that. So hopefully I can get that sorted soon. And yeah, that's kind of it at the moment. I will update you guys later. Nate will be home any moment for his morning tea break from work. So I will see you guys later, and I will probably talk to you this afternoon maybe, and yeah, I don't know yet. We'll see. It's either this afternoon or tomorrow. We'll see how I go. But anyway, guys, I will see you guys later. Bye.